All right. The last recording was going on, and a little bit over 9 minutes, the phone overheated in a hot sun and doop, it cut off. But as the saying goes, we don't give up. So it cut off. We're going to continue the next part. So let's continue the reading of Matthew chapter 10. We're just talking about Jesus saying, I came on this earth, and the message I'm giving is not going to be a very nice one to receive for some people. Even though it's called the gospel of good news, it may be good news for those who love God and seeking righteousness and doing the right thing. But it's going to be a message that puts people at variance. I mean, people are not going to like you or like us for trying to speak God's word. They may not be happy to hear that we're trying to do the right thing and stay on the right path and follow the path. Have you ever had that experience? You trying to do the right thing, trying to stay focused, do your work, get up good. You don't want to sleep around. You don't want to go do drugs and alcohol and cuss and everything else. And I heard this one stats from an LED Little Light Studios that said the age of, I think 70 or 80% of people in the ages of, I think like 17 or 18 or 30 have had basically sexual encounters with people already I'm like, what? Where are you getting these stats and these numbers from? Is it true? Is everybody that promiscuous right now? Is everybody just that getting froggy? I would say that's not a good sign. Fornication is a sin against God and against our own body. Our bodies are the temple of God. God says, be careful. If we defile this body by participating in such actions, He will destroy us. If you're married, go have at it, man. Be good, treat each other right, love each other, and do what you gotta do, and make more babies by the grace of God. But if you sin against the body by that, it's gonna be a problem. So God says, be careful what you do. Don't get involved in such actions as you see the people in Romans and stuff happening, and back in the time of Paul, but also in the time of the actual Romans itself too. And actually, again, even in the time this is in context of the Diddy files coming out, just as before with the Harvey Weinstein and then the Epstein and all this other stuff. There's more, there's more. Who other people got other stuff? What about in Congress and the slush funds? Trust me, there's much incriminating evidence here and there, but why are they not prosecuting them yet? Why are those people who seem to be so heavily connected are not being charged yet? Why are they not tried? What about they trying Diddy? Well, is he an informant? Is he off the FBI, CIA? What about the CIA and these other groups? Have they been known to do such actions themselves, to willfully sanction such behavior and practices? Not necessarily the ones present now. Hopefully the ones doing good with Cash and Pam and everyone and Bongino, they all are trying to do the right thing now. But have they been known to use some very bad means to kind of infiltrate different groups and agencies and to spread things? What about the Jesuit oath? Jesuit oath. Look at the links that are in the video in the description below the description. I'll tell you what we're talking about. There are many infiltrators and many wolves in sheep clothing masquerading as pastors and preachers and politicians and leaders in different groups around the world who are supposedly spreading good cheer and good deeds and benefactors. If they're benefactors, why are they trying to kill us? We talked about last time about the maids, medically assisted. What? Medically assisted. They want to kill us with medical assistance. So let us sign ourselves up to die and be suicided. To die before the time because we want to be a burden to the state. There are many groups that are trying to kill us in many ways, in our food, in our water, our drink, our air, mentally, psychologically, physically, with abortion and all that other stuff. Anything they can do to kill us, they're trying to kill us like roaches. They can't stand us. Why? Because we're trying to do God's will. And why? Because we love life. Why? Because we love people and our families and children. Why? Because we just love life. Anybody out there that hates life just because it's there? The ones who hate life so badly, I don't wish they would, as I said before. I don't wish they would, but if they don't like life, why not work on themselves first? Put it nicely. Leave everybody alone. They don't need no mass shooters and all this Collins and thing here. But they're trying to do this eugenicist thing of trying to kill people because they think it's like, they're not happy, so take the whole world out with them. Like, why you gotta spread your stuff off to me? Like somebody, remember the video I saw once of a video in California? A lady is mad. She had an argument with her husband. And it's like her boyfriend, she drove a Mercedes at full speed across an intersection. And she killed children and people and their occupants in the cars. It was like flying across the intersection. Like a missile. And she killed them. And she survived. Casualties of war? Yeah, war is not pretty. And we're in a war. War for ourselves and salvation. War. This guy said he puts the people at variance. Variance means like a war. War of the spirit. War of internal struggles between the self and the carnal nature versus that which is, that which is spiritual and righteous. There's a battle going on here. That's great. As Paul said it, he said, we're fighting to do the right. That which you should do, we're not doing. But that what we shouldn't do, we keep doing. Why we do this thing here? Maybe I should do that part and add to this part first. But let me finish up 10, Matthew chapter 10, because I'm reaching Matthew chapter 10 to Matthew chapter 13. There's so much information. That's I'm like, it's so amazing to have it. God bless. We need this information. We need this stuff now to know what we should be doing in our lives. You know? Let's finish up Matthew chapter 10 first. What is this variance is talking about? What is going to happen on earth? Because see, 34 he says here. Think not, and this is King James Version of the New Testament. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I am not come to send peace, but a sword, Jesus says. Not because he wants to start trouble, but he's saying there's a war in effect. War started in heaven with Satan is happening here too. For I am come to set at variance against what? Variance? A man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his or her own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. You see what it's just saying? Even more than our biological brothers and sisters and mother, father around us, we are to love no one, nobody ever, ever more than God himself. He is life. We are to love life, him. Because even sometimes our brothers and sisters or people that we think that are doing the right thing will lead us astray and will condemn us and even try to stone us and kill us, thinking they're doing God's service. So God says, get ready. It's about to happen. That's what it says here.
Of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward, and he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
That is the truth. I'm looking here for the chapter the verse in Romans that talks about
Matthew 11.
Let's continue.
And it came to pass, when Jesus had made an end of commanding his 12 disciples, he departed thence to teach and to preach in their cities. Now when John had heard in the prison the works of Christ, he sent 2 of his disciples, and said unto him, Art thou he that should come, or do we look for another? Jesus answered and said unto them, Go, and show John again those things which ye do hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. And blessed is he, whosoever shall not be offended in me. And as they departed, Jesus began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, What went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken with the wind? But what went ye out for to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. But what went ye out for to see? A prophet? Yea, I say unto you, and more than a prophet. For this is he of whom it is written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thy way before thee. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of woman, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Yeah.
But whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows, and saying, We have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented.
Yeah.
For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say, He hath a devil. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, Behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners.
Yeah.
But wisdom is justified of her children.
Very true.
Then began he to upbraid the cities wherein most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not.
Right.
Woe unto thee, Chorazin! Woe unto thee, Bethsaida! For if the mighty works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. But I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shalt be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee.
Yeah.
At that time Jesus answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes.
Yeah.
Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father, save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden,
Yeah.
and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light.
Could you imagine what God is saying? He's saying, always keep searching for. We're making ourselves tired just looking for things. He says, I have it right there. Here's what he says.
Matthew 12. At that time Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were an hungered, and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did when he was an hungered, and they that were with him? How he entered into the house of God, and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Or have ye not read in the law, how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath, and are blameless? But I say unto you, that in this place is one greater than the temple. If ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, ye would not have condemned the guiltless.
Right.
For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogue, and behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath days? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you, that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Sabbath day, will he not lay hold on it, and lift it out?
Right.
How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Sabbath days. Then saith he to the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole, like as...
Do you see what he's asking? It was restored whole like as the other. This is he's giving a description of what we're going to be going through, what they went through back then, and what we're going to be going through even going forward. Many people, even from the religious groups, will start to condemn and backlash and backtalk each other from this. It's a spiritual war. This is a spiritual war. Remember, war, the weapons are... Well, listen, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. Many people, even from the religious groups, will try to condemn each other and stuff, looking to be self-righteous and saying, come not now me, I'm better than thou. They want to tell you how to do it yourself and how to get rid of yourself and how to kill yourself. And then they want to go to church and they want to go to have service and to worship and to love, hug, and to sing. And they don't want to give God praise and honor. They love the Lord so much that they want to kill their fellow brothers and sisters that are made in the image of God. What hypocrisy. Jesus had a right to rebuke them, but that's what they'll do. Acting as Cain against Abel's. God is not slack and God is not mocked. He's talking.
the other. Then the Pharisees went out and held a council against him, how they might destroy him.
Yep.
But when Jesus knew it, he withdrew himself from thence, and great multitudes followed him. And he healed them all, and charged them that they should not make him known, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by Esaias the prophet, saying, Behold my servant, whom I have chosen, my beloved, in whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he shall show judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not strive nor cry, neither shall any man hear his voice in the streets. A bruised reed shall he not break, and smoking flax shall he not quench, till he send forth judgment unto victory.
He will.
And in his name shall the Gentiles trust.
All are welcome.
Then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb. And he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed, and said, Is not this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This fellow doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils.
See? Look at that.
And Jesus knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Right.
And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? And if I by Beelzebub cast out devils, by whom do your children cast them out?
Exactly.
Therefore they shall be your judges. But if I cast out devils by the Spirit of God, then the kingdom of God is come unto you.
Amen.
Or else how can one enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house? He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad.
Right.
Wherefore I say unto you, all manner of sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven unto men, but the blasphemy against the Holy Ghost shall not be forgiven unto men. And whosoever speaketh a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whosoever speaketh against the Holy Ghost, it shall not be forgiven him, neither in this world, neither in the world to come. Either make the tree good, and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt, and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit.
Correct.
O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh.
Careful.
A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things,
Right.
and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
Yeah.
For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
He's talking to us. He's talking to
Then
us.
certain of the scribes and of the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. But he answered and said unto them, An evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas is here. The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation, and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he, and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
He's talking about us. Every bit.
While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
This is important.
Then one said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, Who is my mother? and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren.
Exactly.
For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Do you notice he did not say, my father is outside? You notice that? He knows. Jesus knows.
Matthew 13. The same day went Jesus out of the house, and sat by the seaside. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground, and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not,
Right.
neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing,
Our time.
and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them.
He wants to help us.
But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which received seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that received a seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Our time.
But he that received seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word, and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field?
Who do you think he's talking about with this part? Remember I told you, people are looking and seeing the celebrities, oh, they doing such and such, and everybody's here on this Diddy, and everybody else doing such and such. And they see other people and they want to kind of help fix our lives and fix all things. They said, you're a sinner, you're a mess, you're a sinner, you're a publican, you're this, you're wicked, you're this, you're black, you're white, everything possible, anything they can find a way to kind of judge and butt us with. You know, anything to do to harm us and to hurt us and tear us down, what they were trying to do. And they don't see it. They don't see it. So they want to go and try to help to fix our business. They want to help to take the speck out of our eye and fix us up and cleanse us and cleanse us and make us in their image versus God. They want to fix us. They want to look at their own lives. Who gives? You know? God says, be careful. Be very careful. Because he says, the devil likes to do that. He likes to kind of mix it up together. So now we're saying, let me go and plug it up. So I'm saying this also in the context of the celebrities and stuff you see happening right now. We don't know what's the status of their faith with God. We don't know what's the status of everybody who's been through these situations and everybody who's been accused of something. Let us let God be the judge of that. Let us watch ourselves and make sure not to fall into the same thing. There are laws and rules that they're supposed to follow in heaven as well as on earth. If the rules on earth, the laws on earth follow the laws of God, then everything's fine. But if the laws on earth are not following the laws of God, then I'll stick with the laws of God. Because I said before, on what basis are the laws of earth formed then, if not on the word of God? If they're not formed on the word of God, we got a problem. Okay?
From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this.
An enemy?
The servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay,
Like shepherd's rods.
lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn.
He's going to explain what he means.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took, and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof. Another parable spake he unto them,
He's giving it to them, boy.
The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took, and hid in 3 measures of meal,
Kind of like yeast.
till the whole was leavened. All these things spake Jesus unto the multitude in parables. And without a parable spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world.
He loves us so much.
Then Jesus sent the multitude away, and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world.
Yeah.
The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field, the which when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth, and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchant man seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had, and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net, that was cast into the sea, and gathered of every kind, which, when it was full, they drew to shore, and sat down, and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angel shall come forth, and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Yeah.
Jesus saith unto them, Have ye understood all these things? They say unto him, Yea, Lord. Then said he unto them, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old. And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished, and said, Whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works?
Right.
Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas? And his sisters, are they not all with us?
Yeah, brothers.
Whence then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him.
Offended.
But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there, because of their unbelief.
Well, that will apply to our own lives as well. How much are we willing to let God do the work that he's authored to do and that he offers to do? God wants to save us all from everything that's happening in the world right now. So while people are looking and watching, ooh, what's coming out? What's the next court case? Who's the cross-examination of Casey? Would he take this stand? Would everybody take this stand? All women must believe. The Me Too thing, everybody, all that stuff. Depending on when you watch this video, it could be another term, another lingo back then. In the future, who knows? But there's always somebody watching, looking, trying to get gossip and kind of get more detail and stuff. I mean, I'm curious too. I want to know what's happening because I'm like, are these things happening? And I watch. And the question I'm asking all the time is, who knew? Who knew what's going on? And people stood silent. And then that's what a lot of people want to see too. You mean you knew something was going wrong and you kept silent? Well, here's the thing. Are we aware of the things that are going on wrong in this life and are keeping silent about it too? What moves us? What gets us going? Why do we permit and look and watch out sudden things happening and doesn't get involved? I mean, you've heard cases of people seeing people getting set on fire on a train. Nobody even goes to try to douse her and take off. It happened in New York. People getting robbed and beaten and stuff in the street. No one goes to intervene and to stop what's happening there. People getting shot, attacked, molested, raped and stuff, even in broad daylight or even on the subway, and people just pull out their phones and watch. Don't even get involved. What is happening to our generation? What is happening to the people? Now, every time people say, all they do is bash us and bash us and bash us, always putting the bad. And, it's sad to say that because this happens in the news also. That's what they keep doing. In the news, it's only shows what's the bad. That's what they give you, bad news. Tornado, storm, disaster, calamity. And I don't want to hear all the bad stuff. I know it's there already. I understand. But here's the thing. People, they cannot become tired or overweighted with the cares of this life in the sense that we have to be aware of both the good and bad. Know that it's because of the good that's still winning in this life that we're allowed to even have the time to be able to watch and to learn and to speak and say these things without being destroyed in an instant. Okay? But if we don't point out the bad situation as watchmen and watchmen on the wall, and as dogs to bark and to say what's going on, and dogs are not necessarily an insult. Dogs are not an insult. Dogs are good. Dogs are faithful. Dogs are companions. Man's best friend. Okay, dogs are good to do work. But if we don't bark and bite and to speak and to say things, bite means to bite evil, and to say the truth and tell people what's going on, how will they know? Who's going to warn them? If not you, then who? If not me, then who? But while trying to warn them, we not to take our eyes off ourselves. We got to take care of our own house and our own business and matters first. Take care of ourselves first, then go out there and try to take care of them. So let's fix our own lives. Let's get the speck at our own eyes, as God said. Then we can have faith and strength to go and speak and help other people. Otherwise, the devil will flip it on us and they'll be like, oh, and they're waiting to see the files come out. God knows. So check the description if you can, please, and look at the links below and just see what it is. What is God trying to tell us with all these things happening? Why is he revealing these things now? How many years is this allowed to go on for? Who knew? All the things been hidden. I heard even in Florida, some of them might even be blocking a lot of stuff because he's been held in Florida. I'm like, wow. I didn't realize this. All this stuff is happening. And I'm like, these guys have homes and stuff in Florida, around different states. And I'm like, but since we started traveling around different states, I'm like, oh, you mean this is happening right in our back door? Whoa, some big stuff happening here. And yet the same names keep popping up. And I said, why those people don't go there and prosecute them and arrest them and do things and fix and clean up? Why do people just clean up house? Arrest all the bad actors and put new people in place. Just get rid of all them in cars, not to kill and stuff. Just arrest them all. Bring the correction van over there. Lock everybody up who's doing wickedly. Put them in the van and take them away and put new people, brand new, who are willing to do the will, who's honest, good people in there. And they say, all have sinned, all have sinned, all have come short of the glory of God. How many of us can call ourselves righteous? Because even our thoughts are recorded. So though we're not hurting and murdering anybody, we may be violating the Sabbath. We may be lying, cheating, scheming, adulterous in our thoughts and actions and our hearts and our desires and everything else. We may be coveting stuff that shouldn't be. We may be blaspheming God's name. We may be dishonoring our mother and father. So, if people understand, all sin is sin. And with the commandments, if you break one, you break all 10. So it's in our best interest to try to fix our own lives first before we try to fix other people's lives. So stay tuned. By the grace of God, we'll get to the next part. We're going to go to Achan. Let's see what happens when we have these sins in our life and we know that there's something to be fixed. We know that we are warned. We know that we are told. We know that we should do something about it. And we chose to kind of hide it and cover it up. Even when it costs other people their lives and other people their salvation. Are we our brothers and sisters keepers? Yes, we are. If we know to do right and we choose not to, and it becomes an influence to others as ripples in a pond, as waves. Some people call it the wake, as the water boats and everything. Are we going to be held liable or accountable for what we should or should not do to help one of our fellow brothers and sisters if we know what we should be doing? Yes, we shall. So we got to do the right thing. Let's give God praise. We'll catch up with you soon. God bless you.